What's good, everyone? It's Tee Becoate, and today I'm back with another Diamond Cut Media interview. Today we have entrepreneur and hip hop artist Supreme Call.
Then you said it changed when I got some fame. Hit you blood, started playing games, so I stayed the same. I told you everything. Secrets, all my secrets, I know you can keep.
Very good, my guy. This interview is a little bit, special one because I have, I know Carl outside of music and just sitting down doing an interview. So it's good that we finally get to sit down and talk about a lot of stuff you got going on.
Bro, that's an honor, bro. I appreciate you, for.
Facts. And it looks like we picked the hottest day to do an interview.
Yeah. I mean, last week was in the 97s.
Yeah, it was vacant last week.
Yeah, but the humidity today is like...
It's crazy.
I picked the best day to wear all black, too, But.
Yeah, if you... Just looking at his outfit, you wouldn't think it's as humid as it is right now. So let's get into it. For the people who don't know, let them know who you are and where you're from.
So they call me Supreme Carl, a.k.a. Carlito. Some people call me Bodega Ball, a.k.a. Chef Boy Supreme. It's Supreme. I make music, and I'm from the Bronx. My mom from Honduras, and my dad from St. Thomas, so I'm a little Afro-Latino as well. But, yeah, big uptown. Forever.
Nice. So how did you get the Supreme in front of the car? Were you rocking a lot of Supreme?
Instagram. That was like my first Instagram, and I've been running with it ever since. So
Okay.
yeah, never found a need to change it or anything like that. It's just been working for me.
All right, so you use your Instagram name turned into your rap name.
That's
pretty
correct.
much. Okay.
Yeah.
Word, that's what's up. And talk about growing up in the Bronx. The Bronx is legendary. Obviously, the grandfather of hip hop music. So how was it growing up out in the Bronx?
So growing up in the Bronx is different. Denzel said it best. He had an interview with the Bodega Boys when they were the Bodega Boys at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up in the Bronx, you gotta look around. Like you gotta be able to see around the corner before you even turn that corner.
Right.
So head is always on the swivel. I remember I was at ATL last weekend, and I'm standing in the parking lot. I'm talking to this girl Brooke, just having a conversation with her. But the whole time I'm in the parking lot, my head is like this, and she's like, is everything okay? I'm like, I'm from the Bronx, so.
So I'm watching everything.
You feel me? My head is on the squirrel. But growing up in the Bronx is awesome. I lived all over the Bronx. I lived in Webster Projects, from Webster to 232nd, Laconia to Crotona, where I met some of the people that are heavily involved with in music now, especially my boy Bosky. I met him over in Crotona, Prospect, the east side on the 6th side near Hunts Point, Whitlock area, and even down in Mott Haven. Or even in Freeman too. So I lived literally all over the Bronx.
I'm about to say everywhere, all over the Bronx.
Literally. The only side I never lived on was the 4 train side. Never lived on.
Never. And then we're from New York City, so we know all these different sides of the Bronx are different from each other.
Yes.
So how was it, getting different culture or different, stuff from each area you lived in?
Living in different parts of the Bronx is interesting because you see how everybody move different. So uptown they talk less, it's more action. Right, but they also doing less too. They're not doing the most. Then the South Bronx is action all the time. All the time, stuff is always happening, and everything in between. So it's just kind of interesting to have that duality. And I'm a Gemini, so it's all duality all the time. So having that different duality and learning all those different aspects of the Bronx really made me who I am today.
Okay, dope. So describe how you were growing up in the Bronx. What was Carl as a kid in the teenage years?
Well, growing up in the Bronx, it was video games. Video games and girls. Yeah, if it wasn't one, it was the other. And then my parents used to yell at me to do good in school, and so I was pretty okay in school. If I wanted to, it was Dean's List and stuff like that. So whenever I put my mind to it, I could do what I wanted. But if not, video games with my friends, whether it was GameCube, Xbox. It was girls, and if not girls, then I probably picked up basketball when I was 15, 16, but I wasn't really good. I was last man on the bench type shit. type shit.
Okay, and during those years, when did you start falling in love with music?
I've always loved music. Cool story. My cousin, his name is Justin, but he runs a brand called New York Pen, right? So his whole brand is based on just music, and it's interesting because I grew up with him a bit in the P's. Right, and I think I moved in there when I was 9 till about 11 to 12 years old. My cousin, bro, he used to come in sneakers, right? Culture, he was culture. So then I'm there, 9 years old. I used to go to school uniform, shit like that. Just see my cousin come in, I'm like, word. One thing he had one of those old school iMacs with the color back, and you could put the CD in, right? Bro, my cousin come through every Friday. Because he used to work, I think he used to work at like a sneaker store, so he used to have a little money here for himself, stuff like that. Every Friday, new CD come in. So you got Ludacris, Chicken and Beer, boom. You got Kanye, any Kanye, boom. 50 Cent, you name it, just all these Outkast, speaker box, all. And I used to be at the computer every weekend because he didn't ever want us to use the computer. So I used to do it when he wasn't there. I used to be listening to all new music. So from there, I've been on music since about 8, 9 years old, just heavily listening to it. Never got into music until I was like 19 or 20. I started late, actually. I started very late. One of my boys needed a ride to the studio. I took him to the studio. Next thing I see him lay a verse. I'm like, well, see him lay another verse. I'm like, well, he put down the hook. I'm like, oh, it's over. It's over. And then from there, it was over again. Okay. So I started a little bit late, like 21. I started like 2021. Yeah, 20 or 21 years old, in fact.
Okay, nice. And what were you doing around this time? Like, what car had going on around 19, 20 years old?
Yo, I was outside, bro. I was outside. Because around that time, I was in college. So, when I was in college, or if not, I was working at Zara. Bro, so I was 19, 20 years old. I had a little car. I was working at Zara. And, bro, I was outside, bro. You name them. It's like, yo, I'm like, oh. Oh yeah, I know.
That was definitely a good era to be outside. So around 19, 20, you start making music. Did you have this entrepreneurial mindset since a kid as well too?
Yo, it's crazy because when I was little, my aunties, like my mom and my aunties and them, I used to get in trouble with them all the time. I used to get in trouble because I would go to school, right, and I knew what I liked. And I knew what I didn't have. So I had a Game Boy, but I didn't have some of the games. And my friends had some of the games, or kids in school had some of the games. I would then trade kids like a pencil for a game. And kids would be like, they would give me the game for like a pencil. I'm like, why for a game from me? I come home with the game. My mom like, where you get this game from? I'm like, feel me? Like, get the school, get it to me. No, give it back. When you get to school, give it back. And so I wouldn't call it entrepreneurial spirit, but just more or less, I always understood the barter. Like the conversation of just like, I help you, you help me conversation. I've always understood that.
That's fire. So then, you had Center Life LLC.
Yes.
Would you say that was your first entrepreneurial like venture?
Yo, that drink, it was with me and a couple of my friends. It was called Somewhere in America. I tell you, when I'm in business, I knew not a thing about it. And my first girlfriend, she was trying to put me on. I wouldn't listen to her because I'm like, what she know? Because she don't got a business. Me and my friends, Somewhere in America, I ain't gonna lie, we was throwing parties and selling hats. And it didn't work out because we didn't understand business structure. We didn't understand how to maneuver finances. We didn't understand inventory. There's a lot of things that we just didn't understand because of business. And then we were also like, everyone had different visions too. So it's like, one person wanted to be an engineer, like another person would be like something else, and I'm like, wait, I want to be a rapper, or I want to take this shit like as far as we possibly can. I think we probably had like 2 iterations of it, but in the end, sin can't be life, bro. Sin or life is crazy, bro. It just, you know what I mean? So I'm Caribbean, bro. My grandmother like, sin or life, what up? Like, so that don't make no sense, but yeah.
so you changed it from Center to the Somewhere in America?
It was Somewhere in America, and that was too long.
We
made the acronym to Sin a Life, Somewhere in America. Made it smaller, but then that's Sin Life. Nah, that's no good, bro. You gotta get that out of here, bro.
Center Life's not a thing anymore?
No.
Okay, so what happened in that? I know you said you guys kind of were like a little bit ahead of yourselves. You didn't understand business in terms of inventory and merch. But, that's a lot of people with, like, business in general. Like, a lot of people see people doing things, and they're like, oh, I want to do it, too.
Yeah.
But they don't understand, like, the actual work that's not work that you have to know how to run the business.
Yeah, you're not lying.
So how did you, like, what lessons did you learn? Because I knew, I've known you for a while, been to a lot of your events, been to a lot of different stuff you've done. So what did you learn from, having that event space? You even had your own office in Midtown.
Yeah,
studio. I shot a lot of content there for the magazine, shot interviews there. So what did you learn from having that space, having that brand early on? And then, losing it, I guess, in a sense.
I gave it up.
Okay.
But if I could, I guess, like, impart information to somebody else, like, that doesn't know anything, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna have the answers, and it's always gonna be the unknown. It's always gonna be like, yo, you know you want to do something, but you don't know sometimes what's on the other end of it, or like you don't know. You really don't know what you don't know, and you know, try to prepare yourself. That's like the main lesson is trying to prepare yourself as much as you can, right? And I like to move as prepared as I can, but also like have the wherewithal, like the understanding to pivot.
All right, so Put to Rest. Why'd you name the project Put to Rest?
I wanted to put to rest all those bad habits, man, and that lack of focus, lack of discipline, like, and it was more of a process of me like eliminating just like anything that I felt that didn't put me in a better position to win. I eliminated that. So me not being consistent in the gym, to me wasting like producers are sending me beats and I'm not recording. That's wasteful. Like we gotta get that out of here. Like if I have opportunities with people like yourself to feel me, literally even just have a conversation, and I'm not doing that, that's wasteful. So I'm just trying to get rid of all those bad habits that just didn't put me in the best position to win or to like get the music across, or you know, to like even influence or inspire somebody else to continue doing what they're supposed to be doing too.
And that's dope, because I just watched the Jalen Brown interview earlier. He was talking about like eliminating his bad habits and stuff like that, how it's helped him grow. So that's what's up.
And look at that, he's at the top of the food chain right now.
Top of the top. Yeah. So was there like a strategic reason behind picking 7 tracks, or it was just like it's your favorite number?
We agreed that it would be between 7 to 10 songs. I've never done a project that's 7 tracks long, to be honest, believe it or not.
So this would be your longest?
Yeah, so far, yeah. We just agreed between 7 to 10, and then as we were going down the records, some of them just didn't work, and it didn't make sense for the story that we were looking to tell.
Okay, dope. And what can your listeners and fans expect from this project?
I'm in my bag. I was feeling the way when I made this project, because me and my ex-girlfriend, we stopped being together. As soon as I got back from Japan, and I got like the brand, I said it's donezo. Then next thing you know, me and my ex-girlfriend, we went through a tumultuous time. At that same exact moment,
Right.
me and I ended up not being together no more. From there, I was in my bag, and I was just recording. Then I had an ex-best friend who I was cool with, and she did some fuck shit, and I had my head just in my bag. We caught some rap, some melodies, some aura. It's a lot of rap, I'll give you that. It's rap with some melodies in there. Yeah. And then, bro, Bosky went crazy on all the production. Bosky, oh Lord, he went crazy with all the production in there. So I'm super excited. And I got a special surprise for my boy AP the Fifth on there.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna say less, but yeah.
Okay.
So they can be super excited for that. Yeah.
Shout out to AP. And before we cut the interview, we gotta talk about the new brand, because you dropped some, I saw in March, some sweats, like a sweatsuit line.
That's all Supreme Car.
Okay, that's awesome. So it's not Center Life.
What?
'Cause I was looking, I'm like, is this new Center Life merch?
No,
but
no.
obviously we spoke about it earlier. Center Life is done.
It's done.
Talk about the new brand before we get out of here.
Oh no, it's just that's all Supreme Car Enterprises. So any of the merchandise that you see is all just to help the music go forward.
Okay.
But the merch, I ain't gonna lie, I had something about a sweatsuit. You feel me? That's one. And then 2, all the sweatsuits are really meant for like to be worn on like if you on an airplane. Cause I like travel. I love travel.
Like real leisure wear, comfortable leisure wear.
We call it airwear.
Airwear.
You feel me? So
Airwear.
and we like I love traveling. So respectfully, anytime I travel, I put on one of my sweatsuits, right? Then I see like now I have like that's why you want to see the suitcases, the luggages, all that, because it's all just travel-esque. You feel me? So, and respectfully, I love flying. Like, that's one thing I didn't like about having a studio neither, because I was locked down to the studio. I could not travel for 2 years.
Right.
Or like, I just didn't have the business figured out to the point where like, I can leave the business, make the business run the way it needs to be run, and go travel the world. It never got to that point where I wanted it, like where I wanted that to be at, where it just didn't make sense for me. So, and travel is my thing. I love travel. I love learning new cultures, experiencing new things, and yeah. So yeah.
All right. So before we get out here, are we getting merch for Put to Rest?
So I met this shorty in ATL. I went to ATL I think 2 weeks ago, and right now she's working on the cover art and she's working on the merch designs for it as well. So we're gonna get a T-shirt, and then from there to fall, we rolling because we got new sweatsuits coming for the fall. I think we're gonna be, I believe, by the grace of God, we're gonna do 2 stores. Like we're already in the store in Brooklyn right now.
Fire.
Yeah. So, but we, by the grace of God, in the fall, we're gonna be in 2 more stores, and then hopefully we can do a pop-up shop in Atlanta too. So
That would be fire.
yeah, man. By the grace of God, though.
Yeah, for me, that's be fire, bro. But yo, Carl, I want to thank you again.
I want to thank
taking
you.
your time out today to sit with us.
I want to thank you, bro. You didn't have to do this.
Of course. But you know, my guy's been throwing events, putting out music for a while now, putting in that work. Let people know where they can find your music, see your brand, check out your merch. You know, connect with you.
Supreme Carl, SUPREME. You can Google me. Like everything's gonna come up. If not, supremecarl.net. My website. That's where you got all the music, got all the merch. It tells my bio, gives a little deeper dive into everything, why I do everything. Not only that, look forward. You can see me Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Supreme Carl. Put to Rest coming soon. No Rush coming soon. Make sure you run up that floss. When you know when this is dropping?
Probably next week.
Next week. Okay, so by next week, Floss out now. No Rush out now. Then Put to Rest coming in August.
Yes. Once again, my guy Supreme Carl.
Thank you so much.
We
bro.
here. Another Diamond Cut Media interview. We out. Stay hydrated. It's hot outside.
For real, bro.